And we are live. And I mean live with a smile on my face, boys, because we got our quarterback. And as our good friend David Slade just said, the Broncos are back. And we don't mean just back, we mean the fourth best odds. Catch this, sis. We're tied for the fourth best odds in Vegas to win Super Bowl 57. So we are back. Thank you, George Payton. Thank you, Russell Wilson. And I cannot wait to get this football season going. Free agency starts Monday, baby. Let's go. Here's the panel. Mr. Joey Clams on a Wednesday. What is going on? What is up with you on a Wednesday?
I don't know how you knew that I was a fugazi. How you doing? How's everybody? What's going on? Hey, Saturday gave out my college player of the year, the 5-unit, over the 157.5 on the South Dakota Jackrabbit game. It went up to, it landed on 168. We went over. That was the game of the year. We're rolling. We just had a bad beat, up by 14 with Arizona State with 7 minutes to go, and they lose the game outright. They get outscored 24-9. But you know what? You got to have the gut and stomach. Don't get scared. Get aggressive.
There we go, baby. David Slade saying, thank God it was not the drama queen. We don't have to talk about the drama queen anymore because we got our own elite quarterback. Mr. Rosen, how are you? By the way, thank you for that emotional roller coaster yesterday of, sorry, and then bang.
Yeah.
There we go. What's going on, Paul?
No, not too much. Good evening, gentlemen. Yeah, so a couple of things that we'll speak about. You know, not too many big things that's happened the last couple of days, but that's what's great about football, and I think that's why we're all football fans. You know, let baseball wind up being boring and fight amongst themselves, but every day something in football is happening, and you know how great the last couple of days have been. The news, so we'll talk about it, and it should be a great show.
All right, and then we're going to get last, but definitely not least. So, by the way, Bobby Blackjack, my fellow pirate should be wearing a Super Bowl hat. It's March Madness. Come on, sis. I know you're watching it tonight, sis. But where's your Seton Hall gear, baby?
Bobby Blackjack, have a cup of coffee on me. This is my gear for this show, my friend. Good.
Well, before I introduce you, wait, sis, before I introduce, sis is going to be running the show tonight. You're in the host seat. I'm going to be on and off. Kenny, unfortunately, cannot be on tonight. Get into that. He'll be back tomorrow. I'll be on and off. But Mr. Siciliano, you're running it. I know we got Thomas Reed, our good friend, football player, coming on at 8:30. But sis, whatever you want to roll with tonight. But how are you doing this week? What's going on?
Good. I'm doing good. I'm blessed. God has blessed me in many ways. Everybody on the panel, I just want you to know that I don't like any of you. You guys don't know
Feelings
anything.
Mutual.
You guys don't know anything about sports. You're all amateurs, and obviously I'm joking. We got a great crew here: Joey Clams, Paul Rosen, Mr. All-Star, Mr. Beelan himself. Whenever he gets into town, Kurt's ecstatic. He thinks the Broncos are going to win the Super Bowl.
We're right there, Mr. Sis. We're right there. No, we're right there.
You guys are in the driver's seat. To me, there's no more excuses.
No excuse. None.
We talked about that today too with Jerry Judy. No more excuses, Jerry.
No, sir, sis.
This is it, kid.
No, sir. This is it.
But you guys are loaded. Let's be realistic.
You just need to go out and get yourself a pass rusher or a linebacker and definitely fix up that offensive line, because since 2012 nobody's been sacked more than Wilson. Yeah. So
we're looking at.
Kenny called that. But getting back to the Broncos, Broncos are that's a proud franchise. They've been a beast in the league for the last 40 years, always there. And since 2015, when Peyton left, they had 12 different quarterbacks. That's not a winning ingredient. Nope. That's not the way to get back. But now they went out and they got themselves a legit quarterback. It's no question mark. how he is. We'll see how he goes. We'll see how he adopts. You know what you got. It's no, like Sis says, no more excuses. Jerry Judy, somebody's going to get you the ball. Protect the guy.
Yep.
And now you're in the best division right now in pro football.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Kurt, do you think Miller's coming back?
I hope so. I mean, there's talk. They're saying, again, if he wants the money, you know,
Right.
somebody else might give him the money. But hey, listen, why not? Why not? You're a Bronco. You've been a Bronco your whole life. You're a Bronco for life. Let's do this thing. Henry Zimmernoff, our good friend, saying, was that Peyton's plan B all along? Hey,
how you doing, Henry?
You know what? I thought it was Russ or Rodgers, and so.
I mean, if I could jump in, let me tell you, regardless of what they gave up, and I know I've been reading so many things, they gave up too much. Seattle sold. You know what? They win the Super Bowl next year. No one's going to remember that except that they won the Super Bowl. If you compare what the Rams did getting Matthew Stafford and now with this trade, clearly you're getting a guy who's a Hall of Famer, a guy who's been a 9-time Pro Bowl, a guy who's won a Super Bowl. I mean, what they gave up, Drew Lock, come on. He wouldn't even have probably made the team this year.
Right.
And Paul, you're right. Like people were saying, oh, the Broncos gave up too much. Who did they give up?
Nothing.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Draft
Nothing.
picks?
I mean, you'll get a tight end in this draft. It's deep in tight ends. You'll get a rookie tight end who could be better than Font. And the drafts, it's always a crapshoot. So
exactly.
You get a guy like this, and you get to the Super Bowl like the Rams did with Stafford, and hopefully win it. I mean, nobody can complain about this deal, in my opinion.
Nope. Sis, I will be back in a little bit. Sis, run it over. You guys want to talk Broncos for an hour and a half? Be my guest. But I will be back in a few, Mr. Siciliano. So it is
okay. Take your time. Enjoy the game.
All right, Mr. Sis, you're up.
All right, fellas. We're going to start the evening off with some quick hitters tonight.
Okay.
And we'll go, we'll go Paul, Joey Clams until.
This is Peter. This is Paul. This is Paul. This is Peter. I get them confused myself sometimes.
That's basically these quick hitters. Obviously, came from Mr. Valenti. So here we go.
Okay.
Now,
are they all Denver Bronco quick hitters?
No, there's a couple. Of course, that's why he That's why he wanted to introduce the show so he could get off on that. But it's all good. The first one: does Green Bay now trade Mr. Love, being that they got Rodgers back? Paul, what do you think?
I would say yes. What's the point? He's not going to play another 5 years, 3 years, whatever. Might as well get rid of him.
Okay. Mr. Clams.
I think they're gonna down the line. Maybe they might look to trade him. Maybe they might still hold on to him for until the end, maybe a year before the end of his contract. I don't know how long he's got left on his contract, but he knows, like, he's been behind Rodgers in case Rodgers goes down. He could step in right now. I don't know if they're really looking to trade him right away.
The next one, Paul, is Tyree or James Harden. Who would you take?
Oh, boy. Probably Harden, thinking about that, but not convincing. Let me say that.
Okay. Mr. Clams.
Harden.
We got a Steve Waldman asking this question. You guys are going to answer it. Do the Denver Broncos have the line to protect Russell Wilson? Paul?
Absolutely. They'll do whatever they need to do to ensure that this guy is playing 17 games next year. So, if they have to improve the line, they'll go out and do it. If they've got to make some tweaks here and there, they'll do whatever they need to do to get this guy through the season.
Mr. Joseph Clams.
Yeah, they need to improve the offensive line because you know what, you got to protect. You got a classic Cadillac sitting there right now. You got to protect it. They definitely have to fix up the offensive line, which they will do. They're going to do everything in their power to make it really work. Yes.
Mr. Rosen, who will be the starting quarterback for the Giants? Mr. Trubisky or Mr. Jones?
Without question, Daniel Jones, and we had that conversation earlier. Why? I don't know. They're even looking at that, but
Okay.
game one, Daniel Jones, unless he's injured, will be the starting quarterback.
Joey Clams.
You know what? I think it's going to be Jones, but I think Trubisky, to me is better. Listen, he gets a bad rap. He was, I think, 29-21, made the playoffs twice, and look at the offense he was under. They got rid of that coach right away in Chicago. He was terrible running offense. So when Trubisky, he's not a pocket quarterback. You can't have him pay for the pocket. When he rolls out and he bootlegs, that's when he does his damage. If they look at, there was a stat I heard that when he on rollouts and completions, he's really up there with the stat. He's at the top of the league, completing passes and accuracy on rollouts, throwing out of the pocket. But I think they're going to go with Jones.
Okay.
Sis, if I could just say one more thing.
Yeah, go ahead. No problem.
What I'm reading about with Trubisky is there's so many teams that are interested or supposedly interested in this guy. The Giants may not have enough money to even give this guy a sniff. So I know
right.
He thinks highly of Dable. He loves working under him, but I don't think the Giants may have the necessary funds to get this guy in here.
Paul, are the Broncos now an instant Super Bowl contender because they got Russell Wilson?
Instant. I mean, that division, like Joey's just said, is the hardest division in football now. Every team is so competitive. The Raiders made the playoffs. Obviously, the Chargers and nothing has to be said about the Chiefs. Instant Super Bowl contenders. Yeah, I mean, you got to think that they're right up there. But again, that division is going to be extremely, extremely tough.
Paul?
You mean me, right?
I mean Joey. I'm sorry.
I get them confused myself, Tom.
We look so much alike. And let me get my Joey. We'll
confuse. We're going to piggyback what you said, Paul. That division is tough. That's one of the best divisions. And you know what? The whole conference is tough because you go to the AFC North. Pittsburgh is going to improve. Baltimore is they're going to have a bounce back here. I like Baltimore this year at 22-1 to win the Super Bowl. Write that down. You got the Browns who, they're talented, and the Bengals just went to the Super Bowl. And, and so the Colts are looking for a quarterback, and the Buffalo Bills are going to be there, and New England's always a thorn in somebody's side. I think they're a contender for the playoffs, the Broncos. But with that AFC conference, everybody's a contender.
Yeah.
There's about 10 teams in there that are contenders.
Except the Jets.
I'll
wait for Beelan to say that.
Mary Lenny just chimed in, said, "Hello, guys. I'm just listening tonight." She's saying hello.
Mary, why are you bargaining?
Mr. Rosen, is it important in these tournaments for these teams to win their conference outright? Does it make a difference whether they do and then they
not really. The way the tournament is set up now, maybe winning it gives them maybe a one more seeded place, but I don't think it makes that much of a difference anymore. Years ago, yes. Now, not so much.
Mr. Clams.
There's some teams that have to win their conference so they could get the punch a ticket to get to the big dance. And you know what? I think it is important. You know, I'm a Big East guy. You know, St. John's fan. I like the Big East, Connecticut, Syracuse, Georgetown. I love the rivalry. When Syracuse was there, they're not there anymore. But you know what? When you play in that conference, you don't like the other teams. You don't like anybody. When you're at Madison Square Garden, the Big East tournament, you want to win. You play to win the game. You play to win the tournament. I'm going to say, yeah, it's important.
No mention of my Seton Hall Pirates, Joey Clams. I'm a little disappointed. That's okay, though.
Yeah, and the Seton Hall Pirates. They've been making noise in that conference.
We got a thing coming in from Steve Walderman. Under the radar, ? Jimmy G to the Giants. Paul, what do you think of that?
No. For the kind of offense that they're going to run, he wouldn't be a good fit.
Joey? Okay.
No, he's gonna go somewhere like the Colts, maybe Pittsburgh. Yeah. He's gonna go to an established team that's ready to win. He's not a rebuild. He's not ready to be in a rebuild.
Yeah, I heard the Colts also might be considering him.
Paul, who wins the Big East tournament?
Well, I predicted Villanova on my sheet yesterday, so I guess I got to continue and go with Villanova.
Mr. Clams.
Yeah, I'm going to go a little bit off the side. I'm going to say Creighton.
I'm going to say Seton Hall.
All right. That's they got a legit shot.
Yeah, they do. They can play. Paul, should Ridley have been suspended for a year? He makes $11 million. He made a $1,500 18 parlay or whatever he did. But should he have been suspended for a year? Yes or no?
Absolutely. Without hesitation. Yes. But
Joe? All right, go ahead. Go ahead, Paul.
No, I was just going to say, I know that was one of Kenny's topics he was going to talk about. But there's so much more to peel back the onion on that. I mean, there's just so many layers. It's not just him betting on the games. I mean, it's the whole betting situation now. And I mean, Joey, you can probably speak much more articulately than I could. I mean, it's such a different environment now than it was years ago. You know, when Paul Hornung and Alex Karras was suspended. But anyway, my short answer is yes, he should have been suspended.
Mr. Joey Clams.
Yeah, you know, on the record, right? You're not allowed to bet on your own sport. So he should be suspended. I don't know for about a year because I don't know what the rule is. You know, I know you can't bet, but I don't know what the penalty is. I think that might be a little too harsh. I mean, he was, you know, the allegations, they says, oh, he had inside information. When you're betting an 18 parlay, you got no inside information. And he bet the Falcons too. So,
Friend of mine, Christina Sano Selfo, is watching. Good evening. God bless you. I saw that you had sold your home, and I know you're happy about that. Again, these quick hitters are from Kurt tonight. We're going to jump over to a little bit of Wwf Wrestling. This is either tag team or single matches. Paul, I want your thoughts on Kurt Valenti challenging Joey Clams. One-on-one. I want your thoughts on Kenny Kilpatrick and you. Okay. You'll go first, and then we'll go to Joey.
All right. Well, obviously, I got to go with the Bronx boy. I mean, you know, anybody's from New York, and especially from the Bronx, I'm going to go with him over Valenti. And
remember that homicide in front of Frenchie's on Bruckner and Tremont. Remember Frenchie's spar over there?
You know what? It's going back a long time.
Okay, you know, yeah. So,
getting bad as I'm getting old. So
yeah, he ain't beat me.
and me against Kenny. How big is Kenny?
How what?
How big is Kenny?
He's about, I guess, 5'8", 5'9",
Oh, okay. We're the same size.
165 pounds. Maybe he's 5'10". I'm not sure.
Okay. I'll kick his butt.
Joe,
Yeah.
what do you think of that matchup? You and Kurt one-on-one, and then Paul and Kenny one-on-one. What do you think of those matchups?
Well, I you know, I'm gonna get him down, and I'm gonna give him the biggest wedgie with those Bronco underoos that he wears. I'm gonna
Okay.
pull him all the way. The only thing I gotta worry about is, he's got a tag team, and Jenny Hoops are coming with the flying kicks. That's an assist.
Right. You
She might put the sleeper hold on me.
Yeah, you got to watch that. She'll come in off the ropes. Yeah.
This guy,
Yeah, she'll come in off the
pocket picker. Yeah, so
she'll come in off the ropes. Yep.
You know what she'll do as a tag team partner? She'll make Joey instead of eating pasta, she'll make him eat the food that she's been cooking.
Her specialty dishes. Yeah.
Specialty dishes.
She's
That'll put him in
doing
submission.
She's doing excellent with that.
Yeah.
And before I forget, Kurt didn't mention this before, but I will now. Kenny, unfortunately, had a situation by his house today, and unfortunately, somebody passed away. One of the neighbors had a heart attack in the car, and that's why Kenny's not with us tonight. So he's a good man, and prayers are with you. Prayers are with you and those people and their families. Yep.
Sorry to hear that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now we're going back to Mr. Rosen.
Okay.
Kurt and Sis in a tag team match against Kenny and Breslin. Okay. Joey Clams is the manager. Carson is the referee. You're going to be the manager of me and Kurt against Kenny and Beelan.
Okay.
Joey's our manager. Carson's the referee, and Paul's the announcer.
Okay.
Who will start with Paul first? Out of those two tag teams, which team wins? Kurt and Sis or Kenny and Beelan?
Oh, you and Kurt, without a doubt. You're gonna.
So you're saying that's a wash, hands down. There's no way Kenny or Beelan.
No way, no. Unless they get help from the Iron Sheik or something comes
right
in.
Off the rope, another off the rope
right,
gang.
Right. But you're gonna send Kurt flying through the air. He's gonna slam into Kenny, and then you're gonna come piling on and slam onto the mat and pin Kenny.
Right. I'll have them both in a headlock, and I'll bang their heads together.
Right. Something like that.
Joey, who wins that match?
We win, but we torture them first. You're gonna have sand, salt in your hands, and you're gonna put a tack in between your finger. So when you slap them, they start bleeding just a little bit. When they look at the blood, then they look down, you distract them, then you go to work on them. Jumping off the snookers, off the ropes and everything. Elbows. Come up with the I'm gonna throw the chairs in the ring. And when the Beelan starts coming, trying to get out, I hit him with the chair. We drag Kenny. We all jump on him. Then we get the midgets to come through, too. We got a couple of midgets that come on, too. Midget wrestling. Old school.
We're going to have Paul do his segment now. We're finished with the quick hitters, but Paul, floor is all yours. Yep.
All right. So last week, Kurt raised a great question about who's to blame for the crazy salaries of players. Is it the players? Is it the greed of the players? Is it the general managers to blame? I want to raise a somewhat similar type of question, but it's something that we haven't discussed at all. But the last few weeks or so, it's been making news about some of the salaries that NFL announcers are getting. They're jumping from one network to another network. They're going to get ridiculous salaries. I know Tony Romo is now making $17.5 million. But I'll ask you guys, have you ever said, I'm going to watch a football game because an announcer, regardless of who it is calling the game? Like the Bills-Chiefs playoff game. Were you not going to watch that game? But were you going to watch it because Jim Nantz and Tony Romo were the announcers? I don't think so. I've never said that ever. I don't even think when John Madden was calling games, people weren't going to tune in because John Madden was doing the games, but because, the Giants and Cowboys were playing a late season game. Troy Aikman now is going to be making a 5-year, $90 million deal by doing the Monday night games for ESPN. If there's a good game on Monday night, I'm going to watch the game. I don't care if Troy Aikman is the announcer. So my question is this to you guys. Is it the networks or the announcers to blame for these exorbitant salaries that these guys are getting? I'll start with Joey.
Okay. Go ahead,
I think it's crazy. I mean, and I don't think Troy Aikman is good at all. I think he's blah. And going back to your question, would I ever watch a game because the announcer? I was always watch Monday Night Football, but I would always look forward to hear Howard Cosell, and I would always look forward in the baseball playoff games to listen to Howard Cosell when he did the games on ABC with Keith Jackson, and I used to look forward to listening to Kirk Gowdy and now Kevin Harlan. I don't care if the three other people from junior high school were doing it. I'm watching the game. That's number one. But I would look forward to it. But you know what? I don't like it when they're doing the game. If it's somebody I don't like, it annoys me. That's one thing. I could I put the radio on, this and that. I'll make adjustments if I had to, but I'm not just going to watch the game for just the announcer.
Yeah. I mean, sis, what do you feel about that?
Number one, excuse me, obviously, these guys are making mucho money for so many years. Now they're jumping to different networks to even make more money. And I really think that, let's take the CBS Sunday NFL game day with Bradshaw and,
that's
that
Fox.
crew.
Yeah.
That's Fox, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. Step away, give somebody else a chance. I mean, you played pro ball. You've been doing this for 20 years. Like, how much money do you want? Or how much money do you need? I mean, seriously. You got a kid, Kevin Burkhardt, who I think is a phenomenal.
Yeah.
He's just been coming up the last few years.
Mm-hmm.
The guy's so articulate. He's a great speaker. He's very knowledgeable. Give the fans something different. I don't want to listen to Joe Buck. I don't want to listen to Troy Aikman. Howie Long is, he's an okay of announcer. The other guy, what's his name? Jim Brown, whatever his name is.
James Brown.
James Brown. I mean, what is he really doing on the show?
Well, he's the MC.
Yeah, but I'm saying another guy just collecting a big fat check, man.
I mean, what? I don't even watch those shows. I watch it. I just listen to my handicap.
Well,
shows.
I don't particularly watch it.
And
all I'm saying is that
game is coming on like 2 minutes before I put them on, and they do even on all the shows, and even on the NFL the Sunday night game of the week on Football in America on Channel 4.
Yeah.
They will pick the favorite. When they pick a team, it's always the favorite too.
Right.
You got
to watch. You'll see in another year or two, you're going to start seeing more legitimate professional gamblers and handicappers on these shows, because that's what really counts, not these bozos and they're just picking games.
You got Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth. I mean,
Al Michaels, go retire, buddy.
I know.
This is what I mean. Isn't it time? Like, again, give some new faces a shot. That's
I gotta see. Yeah, I gotta see. I'm legally blind. I lost my eyesight about 12 years ago.
Oh, wow.
So like, when I'm watching a game, and sometimes you get distracted, you don't know what the score is. And when they go to a break, because I can't see the score on the bottom unless I get up and really look, they never go to a break and tell you the score.
Yeah.
They never do. Watch for that. They never do.
No, you're
Got
right.
another
Michaels never
comment.
does. And what's his name? Hello, friends. Yeah, phony Nance.
I got another comment I want
Right.
to read here. Excuse me, from Steve Waltman. Didn't Pete Rose do the same thing? And look what he got. Question mark. I guess he's referring to when we were talking about Ridley before.
Right.
Mark Calderio, our good friend, is watching. I hope his son's doing good with the wrestling on a high school level. Mary Lenny. So what do you think of all those sideline reporters like Erin Andrews?
Yeah. I mean,
That's a good point.
yeah. I mean, even she is, they're talking about her jumping to go back to ESPN because they're talking about maybe being able to bring Buck with Aikman.
So she's leaving Fox too for more money, basically.
Yeah, I mean, and she started at ESPN. She's going to leave Fox if they can arrange it. So listen, I'm not saying.
God bless them, you know.
Yeah, right. I was just about to say that, Joey. If they can make more money, who's going to deny the fact that everybody wants to make as much money as they can? But
no, all I'm saying is, I'm not against anybody making money, but I guess what I'm against is for like how long?
yeah,
20 years isn't enough for you?
yeah.
That's my point.
Yeah, I mean, what more does Al Michaels need to do? He's late 70s. Granted, he's a great announcer. He's been a great announcer. But you think about it, he called the U.S. Soviet Miracle on Ice game in 1980.
Yeah,
42
exactly.
years ago.
We're talking
Exactly.
42 years ago, and here
Right.
he is. He's still
And
announcing.
then when they have that giveaway money, Bradshaw's acting like that's really his money that
Right.
people are winning. I mean, it's a joke.
It's the worst
Yeah.
shows.
Oh,
The pregame shows are the worst shows to watch. Believe me.
He's on there crying about, oh, I don't have any more money. No, he's got a.
I'm going to
he's
tell
got
you
a-
an up and coming.
He's got a 300-acre. He's got a 300-acre ranch. It's a joke. It's a joke.
I got an up and coming. She's a sideline reporter. She did a couple of college games this year. Stormy Bonatoni. She's an upcoming one, sidelines, and she's works on a gambling and handicapping station, and you're gonna see her. She's about 29, 30 years old, blonde hair. Stormy Bonatoni, really knowledgeable. Has her own show on 5 o'clock on a gambling station.
Eddie Murphy just chimed in. How you doing, fellas? Good evening.
The Murph man.
Eddie.
I hope everybody's doing well. But Paul, go ahead, continue.
Yeah, no, I mean, I just wanted to raise that because it just struck me as, like you said, sis, enough is enough already, where I'm not going to watch a Monday night game because Joe Buck now and Troy Aikman and Erin Andrews is now going to be on the sidelines because they're being recruited for the NFL because we want to watch them as opposed to the game itself that we're tuning in for. So it was just something that, especially on the heels of last week with the discussion of who's to blame, players versus the owners.
Right.
So I just wanted to raise that as a
Very good. You got anything else on your Giant segment?
I you know what? I was going to talk a little bit about the combine. I know over the weekend I watched a little bit about it. I don't know if you were interested or saw anything. Some of the players that were surprises to me was that kid from Georgia, Jordan Davis. Who,
oh my God, what a beast!
Yeah.
4.7 40. Are you kidding me? At
Yeah.
331 pounds, man.
Yeah,
That's
I mean, that kid made a lot of money, and I think if he was going in the first round, I think he may have made himself a possible top 10 pick.
Oh, I totally agree with you. Eddie Murphy's chiming in. He says, I think the Manning cast Monday Night Football games got a better rating. I don't know who he's comparing the rating to, but that's what he said.
Yeah.
Greasy in that crew.
I think you're right.
Steve
Not that I
Levy.
tuned in.
Oh yeah.
Greasy
You nailed it, Joe. You're right.
Well, Reese actually was hired as a
he's a quarterback coach
now. They hired him. I forget which team just hired him.
So did I, but I know somebody hired him.
Yeah.
Was it the Raiders?
No, I'm not going to go on record and saying because I'm not sure, but somebody hired him as a coach.
I just don't remember.
Yep. Paul, you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay, Joey, what do you got for us tonight?
Yeah, you know what? March Madness is going to be over in a couple of weeks, and there'll be no baseball, but you will have the NHL playoffs. But what about people who don't watch hockey? What are you going to watch? What's your favorite sports movies? You got any favorite sports movies? What's your boxer movie? What's your favorite football movie? Baseball? Any other sports? Horse racing, golf? What's a couple? Give some people some ideas of your favorite sports movies.
I'll tell you one of my favorite movies of all time is Rocky, the first Rocky. I love that movie. I've probably seen it 50 times. I can watch that movie any time of the day or night. If it's
Take it to the zoo.
I heard retards like the zoo. Yeah.
Now that wouldn't be politically correct, but yeah, I could recite a lot of lines from that movie. I mean, think about what Hollywood has. That movie had everything: the underdog, the love story, the
only thing, excuse me, in my opinion, after the second one, they totally, they destroyed it because again, the original Rocky was
right.
I seen it in the movies like you did, Joey Clams did. After the fifth, sixth, seventh one, it was stupid.
Right. That's why I say the original one, because that was the most pure movie. After that, then it became a money grab by Sylvester Stallone, and they wanted to hype it and everything, and yeah, I mean there was some storylines, the finally winning against Apollo Creed, but just the original one was just obviously we all know it was a takeoff from Chuck Wepner versus Muhammad Ali, and Wepner being the Bayonne bleeder and all of that.
Bayonne bleeder, yeah.
But so for me, Rocky is sports movies I can watch over and over again.
Well, my top two are the same. It's Rocky, and the other one might be corny. I can watch Rudy all day. I love that movie, man. That movie is so spot on. Everybody said he was too small. He was too slow. He was too this. He was too that. And the kid came up big time. That's a great, to me, that's my all-time favorite sports movie. But we got to think from Eddie Murphy here. It's a pretty good question. When a college athlete is a 5th or 6th year senior, do they have to take classes or they just play sports? Now, my understanding is this: if they get their undergraduate degree, they can, if they still have the eligibility, they can continue to play. That's my understanding of the rule. Or
yes,
they go on to graduate school or whatever. But yeah, if they have their degree and they still have time to, I lost you guys for a second.
Yeah, for a second.
It's okay. Yeah, if they still have the eligibility rule is you have 5 years to play 4 years. Now, here's the deal. The clock starts ticking. Now, with this new rule that they injected, you can jump from one college to another college. If I'm not mistaken, excuse me, now I think instead of 4 to play 5. It's 4 to play 6 because all this jumping around. I am definitely against, and I said this from the beginning, I am old school. If you go to Ohio State, you should stay at Ohio State for your career. I don't want to play at Alabama for 2 years, and then LSU is going to have a better team than Alabama, and I'm going to run over there and play. To me, they opened the.
I have a question.
No, I'm just saying. To me, they opened a can of worms doing that. But go ahead, Paul.
But sis, what about
right.
what about like a kid that's like a Joe Burrows who wasn't going to get a shot to play at Ohio State?
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth, Joey.
You know what? To me, again, when you get recruited, you get 5 visits. You know going in there where you're going to fall on the depth chart. And most of the time, you can come out of high school, you can be an all-state player, excuse me, just like my son was. When he got to Rutgers, they told him straight up, you're like 6th or 7th on the depth chart. You want to be a starter, you're going to have to work your way up. And the kid started as a freshman, okay? And that to me, again, that's the juice. You're going in, you know the situation. I understand what you guys are talking about. Joey Burrow would have never got a shot. It all makes sense. But again, that's my take on it.
Yeah.
Everybody has a different opinion.
You're caveman old school. That's caveman.
No, I'm not caveman. I really am. You laugh. I'm old school. I'm old fashioned.
You know what I think, sis? I don't think there's anything wrong with the way you feel, but I think these kids, and especially now with these image and you know all this money and stuff that's coming in, they see so much money that's out there that a kid like Joe Burrow, Justin Field was going to be a starter at Georgia, and then he didn't become the starter, and then he went to Ohio State. They see so much money that's out there that they say, you know what, I was promised one thing, but hey, I need my opportunity to show how good I am. I'm going to another school that
well, now you just hit on another great. You hit the nail on the head again. This kid Young from Alabama, before he stepped on the field last year, he had $1 million in his bank account because they changed all of that up. Eddie Murphy made a comment. He said his wife yells at him every time he watches Rudy. That's pretty funny. But go ahead, Joe. Continue.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to give a couple of my movies out there in case people watch. Yeah,
you got anything else, or you're done?
Well, Slapshot was a good, funny movie.
Yes.
And my favorite movie of all time is sports or movie. It's my favorite regular movie of all time, Raging Bull.
Yeah,
about Jake LaMotta, like that.
Great movie.
Yeah. So what else you guys want to talk about?
I'm going to do
about the watered down coaching in all.
I'm going to jump into what's on my mind.
Okay.
What's on Sis's mind, because we're going to be bringing our guest, Mr. Reed, in about 15 minutes. Mine won't take 15 minutes. It should take about 10 minutes. Again, this isn't directed towards anybody. This is a society and a world that are out of control. Gas prices, food, shelter, sports, families, and so much more. Let's step back and I mean, where are we headed? You know, just and I'm not just talking to Paul and Joey Clams, I'm talking to the audience. Just, stop and think about that for a second. You got almost World War III going on. You got a president. He's totally clueless. He really is. I don't care if you're Joe Biden, for Joe Biden, you're for Trump, you're for this one. This guy is destroying his country. And if you can honestly look at yourself in the mirror and say that he's not, then I don't know, man. You really need to check yourself. The greed that is becoming in sports, football and baseball, especially now, even with baseball, talking about maybe not having a baseball opening day. I mean, you got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. We talked about this quickly before. These sports announcers jumping from network to make more money, yada yada yada. You know, and it again, it's the average Joe can't take his 2 kids to a game. I mean, I have 4 kids. I have 3 sons. I would never be able to afford to take these kids to Yankee Stadium or go see the Giants play. If back in the day, it was a totally different thing. I think that's the saddest thing. It's so pathetic.
You ain't kidding.
Yeah.
It's so pathetic. I mean, again, we said it before. How much is enough? Guy's making $11 million. Could have went to any casino in the world, and he's making a $1,500 bet. So now he doesn't get to play this year, and he loses $11 million. I mean, you don't have to be a rocket scientist. You don't need a 4.0 in college to figure that one out. You got Henry Ruggs.
You know, sis, I've said this for years and years. There's intelligence and common sense, and they're mutually exclusive. So,
but you get a guy again like Henry Ruggs, unfortunately killed somebody, a girl and a dog. NFL has a policy: just pick up a phone. They'll send a car to come and get you.
Yeah.
Plus you're a millionaire. But Joey Clams brought up a good point. Today we were talking. He brought up an excellent point. For 19 years, these kids didn't know if I was going to wear the same color socks, same underwear, different shoe, or whatever. So now all of a sudden, I got millions of dollars, and it was a great point that Joe brought up. It really was. The other thing, I'll say one thing about Tom Brady, and I've never been a Tom Brady fan, but comparing Tom Brady to Aaron Rodgers as far as money goes is like apples and oranges. And I said this to Kurt today. Tom Brady gave back to New England so they can keep other players.
Mm-hmm.
You think Aaron Rodgers is going to give money back to Green Bay to keep anybody, or again,
they never. But sis, they never ever got anybody for him.
We talked about that today. Obviously, I don't like him. I don't care for him. I think he's just all about myself, all about the attention. I want the spotlight on me, and I'm going to sit here and say this on the show. He ain't winning no Super Bowl next year.
I'll tell you.
You can take that to the bank. Go ahead, Paul.
The offshoot of Rodgers is the biggest winner to me is Devontae Adams, because I think even if they franchise tag him, which I guess they did, got a deal so he can stay there for the next 3, 4, 5 years, whatever it is, and he's going to wind up getting his money too.
Coach Breslin just chimed in. He took cuts in money to win games. He did.
Yeah.
He's talking about Brady. You got Eddie Murphy saying Brady took a pay cut every year. He did.
Yeah.
People don't get that. Now, here's another thing.
Yeah, I know, but what does that have to do with Aaron Rodgers?
If we're talking about overall sports, not just Aaron Rodgers.
No, but you brought it up. You brought up Brady and Rodgers. I'm just saying.
I was just comparing.
Aaron Rodgers do wrong?
I was just comparing 9 years. What kind of person? I'm trying to compare what kind of person Tom Brady is and what kind of person Aaron Rodgers is. A selfish, self-centered person. That's the end of that conversation. Now, if you're still lucky enough in your lives to have your mom and dad around, okay? When's the last time you told your mother or your father that you love them? Think about that for a minute. You take things for granted. And when you take things for granted, then one day all of a sudden you wake up and mommy and daddy ain't there no more. Or God forbid you lose a child, or these to me are that they're important. These are these are important things in life. Not how big my bank account is. I got 3 houses down Seaside Heights, this, that, and the other thing. Okay. Same thing with a friendship. What's a friendship? Is a friendship only when somebody needs something and they reach out? and they ask you to do something for them, and then when they don't need you, like, you don't really hear from them. Think about that for a minute. And we've all been in that situation. And I'm not putting myself on no pedestal, because I'm not that type of person. Okay. But one thing I do every day, I pray every day when I get up, and I thank God for all the people in my life and everything that I have. Okay. Which isn't much, but I'm blessed. I got 3 beautiful kids, and 4 beautiful kids, rather, excuse me. And I have 3 grandsons. And this isn't to embarrass Paul Rosen. There's a guy that beat cancer. There's a guy that turned around and ran in a New York marathon. So I know he's very,
thank you,
very, very grateful. He's a great person. I mean, I never met him personally, only from the show, but you can see what kind of character he has, the way he was raised. Okay. My son, Nicky's 31 years old. When he was born, he was a pound. Doctor said to me that night, Mr. Siciliano, he won't see tomorrow. I said, why not? He said, because his lungs are not developed. That kid was in a hospital for 9 months.
Jesus Christ.
When he came home, we had all kinds of nursing service, body. Me and my ex-wife finally kicked them out because the bills were getting outrageous. We took care of him. One thing I'll say about my ex-wife, she was a great mother. And I'm blessed. And Nicky gets mad all the time that he's 31 years old. But guess what? That kid's a miracle, man, because he was not supposed to live because of his lungs being underdeveloped. And
he's a fighter.
You know, just do me a favor, and I'm closing thoughts here. When you wake up tomorrow, you count your blessings. Don't only pray to God when you need something, but be grateful and be sincere every day, especially with people, man. Hold the door, say good morning to somebody, or, you know, whatever the case may be. And that's it. This thing in life, we don't go scot-free in this thing that's called life, because at the end of the day, we all know sooner or later we're not going to live forever. Peace. Thank you for listening to me tonight.
Can I say this? And I say this, and I don't want to embarrass you, sis. I just want to tell you I love you, man. You're an amazing person. I can't wait for us to meet you. And you're just a breath of fresh air for not just the folks that are doing this show, but for everybody that has the ability to hear your words, your special words and feelings, because we know that it's so sincere. We know it's from the heart. So I feel blessed. My wife feels blessed to have gotten to know you. And I know that you're the type of person that stands behind every single thing that you just said. And it's amazing to have been able to listen to that tonight. So thank you. We love you.
That's greatly appreciated. Coach Breslin, I appreciate your kind words. I'm not going to read them, but there's another guy, Coach Breslin. When I coached with him, man, he was like my brother. I never had a brother. I got a great sister. But this guy, best defensive coordinator I ever coached with in my life, number one. Number two, he'd listen to you. He wasn't, you know, he can X and O anybody to death, but he listened to you. He would ask for your input. That's a coach. Not that, no, we're going to do it my way. He never, ever did that. And I just want to, again, I always let him know how I feel about him as a person. So, okay, Kurt's saying Thomas Reed is coming in. I don't know where Kurt is.
He's just spoken like a gentleman.
I appreciate that. Again, I'm not here to put myself on no pedestal. I'm not a perfect person. I try to be a good person, and I try to do what's always right by people.
I don't know how big is a pedestal? You know, I don't know.
How high is a pedestal?
Hey, pull Jimmy's toe in and get up on the flatbed there.
Yep. I got to tell Kurt this kid's waiting to come on. Let me text him. Hold on. You guys can talk amongst
Hey,
yourselves.
Paulie.
Yes, sir.
I used to play softball up in the Bronx. I played at Pelham Bay.
Oh yeah.
Down by Metcalf, Story Avenue.
Uh-huh. Oh
Yeah.
God. Now I know those days.
Yeah. You remember the bars on Tremont Avenue?
I was a little too young then, but absolutely.
Casey's, there was Frenchie.
All right, gentlemen, interrupting you. We got Mr. Reed on. Mr. Reed, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you guys hear me?
Hey,
Yes,
how
we
are you,
could.
buddy?
Hey.
There he is.
Hey, I'm doing good.
Wow,
How
that beard got a lot longer, pal, since the last time
Yeah,
I saw you.
I know, man. I know.
I'm busting your chops. How you doing, kid?
I'm doing good. How y'all doing tonight?
Hey, how
Good.
good?
We're doing good, and we're ready to listen to you and tell us what's going on in your life, buddy. This is good news.
Yeah, so I have recently signed my first contract to go play in the Fan Control Football League. So I will be reporting for that. First game is April 16th. It's basically a league where you, as the fans, are in full control of everything. You guys pick a team that you guys want to support for the season, and then you guys get to draft players to your team every single week. So similar to kind of fantasy kind of thing. And then once the game starts, you guys actually get the playbook on your phone, and you guys get points and credits according to the plays and calls that you pick during the game. Whatever you guys pick, that's the plays that we have to run on the field. So it's like playing Madden, being a coach.
Wow, that's excellent, man. Wow, that's great.
Live Madden.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that. Go ahead, Paul.
What position do you play?
So we'll be playing defensive end. I could possibly be dropping back into coverage, playing linebacker. You know, they see a little versatility in me. So wherever they put me in, I can get the film. That's where I'll be.
What's your size? What's your size, Tom?
So I'm at 6'3", and right now I'm at 240.
Oh wow.
Oh, that's awesome. Did you get
Yeah.
that? You get your 40 time 4.7 or no?
Yeah, I'm still there, and actually my broad jump is still where it's at. My vertical increased by about a little bit, so I was at a 36 and a half.
That's
Wow.
God bless you, man. That's great news. God bless you.
Thanks.
Now, what's the name of your team?
So it's not a specific team that I'll be playing for. I'm literally just in a draft pool, and whatever, like if let's just say you're a Jets fan or a Giants fan, and you decide to pick me as your defensive end for the week. If 80% of the fans decide to pick me for that team, that's the team I play for that week. But the following week, I might play for a different team. It's
okay. I got it.
A draft pool that bounce around from week to week wherever the fans.
And what's the name of the league?
The league is called Fan Controlled Football League. So it's called
Fan Controlled Football. Okay.
Yep.
Hey, how you doing? Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, let me ask you, what now? So you might be going to a different city every week?
No, so the whole league is going to be based out of Atlanta, Georgia. They're actually in the process of building their stadium for it right now. And the league is going to be 100% based out of there. I'll be in downtown Atlanta, and every single week, like I said, you'll be able to draft me to whatever team you decide to support. And then you call all the shots, call all the plays, play Madden with real life players, basically.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the same as it's going on now in the NFL, because these head coaches ain't managing the games. Everybody else is making the call, so it doesn't even matter.
I got a question here from a Ramsey Carlton for Mr. Reed.
Yes, sir.
Please ask Thomas Reed, is it tough to achieve a balance between work, life, during the grind of the season, and how diversified is your portfolio?
My portfolio is pretty diverse, but from my understanding, from what I think that means is kind of just how versatile am I able to be, and just my other creativity aspects of it off the field. I'm still doing my poetry. I still been going to a lot of open mics. I'm still been writing, still giving back and mentoring to all of the youth athletes that's in the community. But
that's awesome.
To balance the grind. And I mean, to me, it's a normal thing. It's an everyday thing. It's about, if you want to get it done the same way you want to go to work and pay your bills and have a house, same way you got to put in the grind for your career in the future. This game doesn't last for long. So I'm still on that. Got to cherish it.
That's a great attitude, my friend. A great attitude. Do you know this guy, Carlton? Is he
Yeah.
a friend of yours? Yeah, okay. I hope so.
Thomas, where'd you grow up?
So I was born and raised in New York. I was born in Long Island, New York.
What part?
I was born in Deer Park, Suffolk
Deer
County.
Park.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, lived on Long Island for a long time too.
Oh, what part?
Lived in Plainview, Long Beach, Belmore,
Okay.
more. So yeah.
So yeah, I was born in Deer Park, and then I ended up moving into Brooklyn my sophomore year of college because I went to my junior college out there. But before that, I actually went to Nassau in Nassau Community. So
Yep. They always had a great football team.
Oh, always great organization, great program at the time. But then I ended up leaving and going to Adams State. So I've completed my last 2 years at Adams.
We got a shout out from I think it's pronounced Milligan is her last name.
Yes.
Which is a great compliment to you. She said this guy is going far. That's awesome. You got a good following. It's that smile. That's why you got a good following.
Mm-hmm.
Appreciate that.
Hey,
go ahead, Paul. Ask him.
No, I was just going to say, no, my daughter went to Nassau for 2 years and then went to Syracuse. So
okay,
cool.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Do you wear the same number on the jersey every week, or you pick a number every week, something different?
So from what I know, we will have the same number every single week. It's just we're just going to be changing colors and changing jerseys.
Yeah.
Coming from Long Island, did you have any home team? Did you root for any of the home teams, or who did you grow up rooting for?
Man, we talked about this last time. So I was just a football head at one point. So I was like a LaDainian Tomlinson fan. So I liked the Chargers. Then I liked Champ Bailey. So I was a Broncos fan. A lot of people compared me to not Lawrence Taylor, Jason Taylor. So because of playing defensive end. So I was a Dolphins fan. Dad was a Dolphins fan. So I was just a football head, and I bounced around from whoever I was just like wanting to support as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
You got you got a lot of females following you. Yvette Flores is saying Thomas is a shining star. Love that guy.
So, there you go. There you go, player.
I hope you don't. I hope you don't have a girlfriend, man. You're gonna get in trouble tonight.
Miss Flores is actually she's a great person. I actually train and mentor her son. I've been training him since COVID.
That's awesome.
Trying to get him in shape, making sure he has all the right resources. And me being a personal trainer in Colorado, I helped her out a little bit as well. So just trying to give back. And they're actually good people. They looked out for me a lot.
Allison. No. You don't just jump in on my show.
Who was that?
I'm teasing. Go ahead.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you having me on. It's good to see you again as well.
He said he used to be a Bronco fan.
Yes, absolutely.
And Allison Snyder says, excuse me, Joe. Let's go, Thomas. Another one of your cheerleaders.
Hey, Thomas.
Awesome.
So when you're down in Atlanta, do you live in your own place, or they got a place for the players to live?
From what I know right now, they have a place for all us to be stationed at and everything. We're all going to be following the same schedule, same protocol, just like that.
When does this league start? April 14th, you said?
So the first game of the season is April 16th. And it's going to go.
Okay, I'm writing it down. Okay.
And it'll be every week from that point on. I will be reporting next week, actually, getting ready for camp and, things like that.
Is it
how many teams
on Saturdays and Sundays, obviously?
I believe the games are going to be on Saturdays.
Saturdays, okay.
How many teams are in the league, Thomas?
So last year was their first year hosting this league, and it was 4 teams. But now that there are 8, they created another 4 teams for this season.
Cool.
Shelly Bowman. Let's go, Thomas. Hey, I'm going to start getting a piece of this.
Hey, Thomas, you don't have to answer it if you can't. Is the public allowed to gamble on these games?
That, to be honest, I'm not 100% sure on. I know that you guys are in full control, and full control of the teams that are created, the players that play what teams, the play calling and everything. So I'm not 100% sure on that. I just know that you download an app and you're in full control.
Yeah, I gotta find out if they're
Diego,
gonna put these up in the books, if they're gonna put these in the sports book so you can gamble on.
I hope so.
I think it's Large. Diego Large said, "Congratulations, Thomas Reed. I'm there. I'm cheering for you." Whatever that means. That's what he said.
I
Okay.
appreciate it. I appreciate you, Diego.
Yep.
I appreciate that, man.
Posse's coming out strong tonight.
What's that?
His posse's coming out strong.
Oh
tonight.
yeah, he's got a big posse. This kid, man. This is awesome.
Just trying to give back and make change while I can, and then now that I'm
you're happy. You could see you're happy. That I know last year was a little rough sledded, and I kept texting you, telling you to hang in and good things. And now God has blessed you, my friend.
Amen.
So you're in a driver's seat, kiddo. How's your mother doing? Okay.
She's doing well. Appreciate you.
Good. Yeah,
Beautiful.
We talked a few times. Nice lady. Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Joe. Ask him whatever you want to ask him.
No, go ahead, Paul. Paulie's up next.
Yeah. Talk about, when did you start playing football, Thomas, and what got you interested in football? I mean, maybe you played other sports, and then you decided, okay, I'm going to stick with football.
So my dad, he saw a flyer in like one of my backpacks that I had that came in with like my homework and stuff and local stuff that was going on in our community. And it was like a football program that started off for youth. So he was like, let's give this a shot. My mother, she was kind of hesitant. She didn't know much about football at the time. She just know little kids with big heads just clashing into each other. But then, as time went on and, my dad, they finally agreed to give it a shot. I just enjoyed it. I loved, the team camaraderie, meeting players. It was fun. And then as a young kid, just hitting people, it was fun to me. So
did you always play defense, or was there a chance to play offense at all?
So when I was a little kid, they kind of had me everywhere. I was like, I was defensive end. I was tackle. High school, I played offensive tackle. Also in high school, I played wide receiver and tight end. So there was a couple of times I had a little, little shimmy with the shoulders, ran a route and caught a touchdown a little bit. But defense has always been my thing.
Our good friend Kenny Kilpatrick, unfortunately, had a death on his street tonight. He usually does the show with us, and he just texted me. He said, "Sis, tell Thomas I wish him the best and good luck. Looking forward to following you this year, Thomas." So you remember Kenny?
Yes, sir.
Well, Kenny, yep.
Yep, I appreciate you, Kenny, for that. Thank you, man. I hope you stay safe where you live too.
Hey, Thomas, do you know any of the coaches of any of the teams, or where are they from? Are they familiar names or anything like that?
So I do know Coach Jenkins. Coach Jenkins was a former NFL coach and things like that, and he's been in the game for a very, very, very long time. The other coaching staff and coordinators, I'm still getting to know and still getting familiar with and seeing how they're going to do things. But I do know Coach Jenkins has been running the league for a while, and I just, credit goes to him for how much that man knows about the game of football. So
I have a question, Thomas. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So from what I know, I think that regarding the aspect of it, I just pretty much just do my job, go out there and ball out and, take care of what I got to take care of. And the stuff is regarding, if scouts are interested from the CFL, NFL, whatever the case is, they come and I guess they reach out to whoever at that point, whether they're part of the FCF, your agent, things like that. But I'm just looking to take it step by step, get my chance to suit up again, play again, go hit somebody again, and then see where it goes from there.
Do you? No, I just wanted to ask him if he had.
Yeah.
I just wanted to ask him, do you have an agent now or no?
Yes, I do.
Attaboy. Good move. That's smart. That's smart.
What I was going to ask, Thomas, it's hard enough sometimes to understand and deal with the playbook. How are you going to go from team to team, week after week, if you're going from a different team? to have that meshing and that teamwork to play on a week-to-week basis.
I think in that regard, it would be the same thing as if I was in the NFL level. You study a playbook, you know it, then you get traded, you got to learn that one. I think it just comes with the territory, it comes with the responsibility, it also comes with the maturity as a player. So if that's the thing that I have to do, where I have to know it and study it and get the reps for it and keep my head in the books and stay focused while I'm out there, then so be it.
That's great.
Hey, Thomas, how many players on the roster, and what's any different rules than they are in the NFL, like 2-point conversion, and what's the is anything different? Like like the Canadian League has different rules and different yardage and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. So everything regarding this league is 100% in control of the fans. I mean, when I tell you everything, it's to the point where one of the rules in the game is, instead of doing a coin toss, the fans decided how they wanted to start the game off, and fans voted that they want to do a rock, paper, scissors. So they have one captain.
Wow. Crazy.
And
that's awesome.
Instead of doing a coin toss, they do a rock, paper, scissors, and then whoever wins that decides, who gets possession first.
That's cool.
What if the game goes into overtime? How is the overtime going to be decided?
Overtime, again, it goes by the rules. Like if you download the app, it's called the FCF Fan Control Football app. If you download that app, then you create your account, you pick the team organization you want to pick and support for the season. They also give you a list of questions of if this rule would have happened, what do you want the outcome to be? And whatever percentage of the fans vote for that, that's the ruling that we have for the season.
I want to hear this one. Mr. Ramsey Carlton said, Thomas, please describe a time when you had an argument with a player and what happened. Let's go.
Man.
Pony up, pal. Pony up.
So there was one. I mean, I'd probably say I had an argument with a player on the field, like on the other team kind of thing, if he's referring to them. I've had a couple conversations where players are talking trash. I'm gonna beat you. I'm gonna throw you on the field to lose. Right. Things like that. But for me, when I'm on the field, I'm not much of a talker. I let you do all the talking. If I get you, I get a sack. I beat you on a couple reps here and there. If I notice you start getting tired and I still got my wind in my lungs, I'll just look at you.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Talk all you want. I hear you.
Thomas, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
You know the history of the NFL. If there's one quarterback that you could have sacked in the history, one guy that you could pick and sack, who would that be?
That's a very, very good question. I'd probably say if I can play in this era back then and I was able to get a sack, I would want to sack Dan Marino.
Dan Marino.
Yeah, just because, like I said, my dad was a Dolphin fan. My grandfather was a Dolphin fan. They grew up in that era watching him and everything. So, if I can go back into that era and just say, hey, I did that, and competition with my pops kind of thing and show love, that'd be dope. But
great quarterback.
Speaking of your family, give a shout out to your mom because she just said hello.
Oh, of course. Mom. That's my mom's, Miss Reed, and then shout out to
Matt. Yes, sir. That a boy.
Shout out to God.
Absolutely.
When does training camp start for you, Thomas?
Yes, so I report very soon. I report actually on the 16th of this month. So literally a couple of days from now, I will be reporting in Atlanta, Georgia for training camp and getting ready for practice, studying the playbook, however they run things down there. And then, like I said, April 16th will be the first game based out of the FCF facility. I believe it's called Pullman Yards that they're redoing and making the field and everything. So that's where it'll be located, and that's when it starts.
How many
facilities? Did they give you criteria you're going to have to do when you get to camp?
I'm sorry?
Did they give you a criteria you're going to have to follow when you get to camp? In other words, they're going to time you in a 1.5 mile run or anything crazy like that?
I think in that regard, I'm not 100% sure. I've been reaching out to the strength and conditioning coach. I still train at Performance in Colorado. They have their strength and conditioning coach for the FCF. He, gives us our program. He's very well at what he does. Same thing with Landau. So I think it's just more of maintaining and staying healthy and staying in shape. That's going to be the aspect
Well,
of it.
yeah, that's what my point was. They're
Yeah.
they're going to want to know if you're in shape, obviously.
I think at some point they'll be able to tell regarding everything. You know, when we start camp, whether they have us do testing, I'm not sure what
Right.
testing they might have us do. I just think their main asset is just for us to stay healthy and treat us like professionals.
What's your not to be nosy? What's your bench press? About 350?
My max bench is about 335.
I've seen you pushing some weights around. That's why I asked you.
Yeah.
That's cool. Beautiful. I am really happy for you, pal. I really am.
Appreciate you.
Really am.
Appreciate
Yep.
you.
You're blessed. Yep. Guys, any more questions for him?
Just as a defensive end, linebacker/linebacker, any particular NFL player that you would say you try to tailor your game around as a football player?
Good question. I like that.
As a player right now, I wouldn't say I'm trying to resemble anybody. I mean, I know what my blessings are and what I've been able to do, but on the other hand, I work with so many different NFL players from different positions, and my main thing is just to pick apart their knowledge and see what helped get them to where they are and see their ability to be where they're at. Take their coaching while I can. For example, Malik Reed was a guy that I got some advice from, but then Jonathan Harris plays the D-line for the Broncos. I've worked with Eddie Yarbrough. I worked with so many guys and just picked apart their knowledge. Justin Simmons.
That's awesome.
Thomas.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome.
I'm just trying to pick apart the knowledge and see what works for me. And then when it's time to go, it's time to go, but the knowledge doesn't hurt. And I'm just retaining all of the coaching that I can.
That's awesome. Joey, anything for him?
Yeah, I just for all the young athletes out there that will watch this, can you tell them like what's like the day before, what's your meal, your pre-day meal and your pre-game meal, and what kind of diet you on for the young kids out there who are athletes and stuff, and with the right way to follow a right diet?
Oh, diet is very, very important. If you ask any of the young athletes that I mentor and I train and do all this stuff, I always tell them that, diet is one of the biggest things where you could tell your performance is going to be really good and when it's going to be really bad. You could literally feel the difference. I have my nutrition location that I partnered with, My Fit Foods. It's a good place all across the board, across the country. They've helped me with my diet, give me my muscle deficiency imbalances and what calories I need to have and what grams of this I need to have. So it's very, very, very important. But for me, I know that before any tryout or any game, I usually have some pasta, something, have a salad, definitely hydrate and drink plenty of water, make sure that my body's fully rested. I do a whole routine of stretching before practicing, before games. That's just my daily thing that I do on a day-to-day basis before games and practices.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Thank you for being on our show tonight. And I want you to make sure you remember this when you become a big star. Do not.
I haven't forgot y'all yet.
Do not forget where you come from. Wish you the best of luck, kiddo.
Thank you. I appreciate you fellas for having me on the show tonight. Really do.
Best of luck, Thomas.
Hey, y'all
Looking forward to it.
Great job, man.
Thank you.
Yep.
I appreciate y'all.
Everybody's proud of you.
I'll talk to you soon.
Everybody's proud of you.
Thank
God
you.
bless you.
Thank you.
Yep. Stay in touch.
Will do. And hopefully you guys can come down and catch a game sometime out in Atlanta, Georgia.
That would be
That's
beautiful.
great.
Absolutely.
Are they going to televise the games at all?
Yes. So the games will actually be streamed on Peacock, NBC Sports, NBC LX.
Nice.
You could also watch the app and be interactive on Twitch and through the FCF app. So if you have Google Play or if you have the App Store on their iPhone, you can go to the App Store and download FCF and download the app, create your account, and you'll be able to watch the games live.
Oh, they got it all covered.
Excellent.
Wow.
Yeah,
Well,
listen,
yeah.
let me tell you something. That's going to be good because, everybody's a Monday morning quarterback. So
Yep.
everybody thinks they're a coach, they're a quarterback. You're going to get a lot of people interested in getting involved
Yep.
in this. It's going to be good luck with it. God bless you.
Thank you,
Yep.
fellas.
Okay, fellas, final thoughts. Paul?
Great show. We miss Kenny tremendously. I hope all is well with him and that situation. Thinking about him tonight. And great job by you tonight. manning the controls. Joey, always a pleasure. Thanks again. And
Man,
we had a good time
You're a
tonight.
man. You're a man and a half.
Thank you.
Coach Breslin just texted me, said, "Sis, let's get on that app and get him to blitz." That's awesome, Coach
I'm
Breslin.
telling you, guys probably
Oh
you know
my
what?
God.
They're going to get a lot of people involved in that.
Kurt saying final thoughts, Russell Wilson. So, whatever. Joey, final thoughts.
Yeah, that was pretty good show, and we're in the middle of the beginning, but the middle, and 2 more weeks it's the end. It's March Madness, so it's a lot of great college basketball games. Every game comes down to the wire, so everybody out there playing, that half a point means a lot. If you make sure you buy it, get off those numbers. If it's a bad number, if the number ain't right, stay away from the game.
I want to thank you guys.
About a half a point.
I want to thank you guys for helping me out tonight. That's my final thoughts.
Yeah.
Enjoyed. I'm going to enjoy watching Seton Hall in about a half hour. Kurt said, don't forget Sunday night's NCAA tournament show at 8:00. He's throwing out, I guess, for who's ever going to be on that show or watch it or whatever. So, again, I appreciate Paul. I appreciate Joey Clams for helping me out tonight. You both did a fantastic job, and I love both of you like you're my brothers.
All right,
We love you.
Yeah.
We love you, sis.
Paul sounds like an all right name. Hey, it's been a pleasure, my friends. I'll talk to you later. Good luck.
Okay.
Thank
have a
you,
good
Joey.
night. Paul,
All right,
I'll
Paul.
talk